First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Jet sweep, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. This complete to Martin. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now they try the right side here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. They'll run it here with Hunt. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. On 1st and 10, Farley being chased out left. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this one will be brought back to the 22. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
But we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the Lions' 24-yard line. Let's go! Check 56.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And it's 3rd down.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
50, 50. Coming to you, coming to you.
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Let's go, do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat. And, his first carry, he loses the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Watch the
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
51 to Mike, boy, 51. I'm coming for you, mine.
They'll look to throw. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. And the formula there on the two-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Farley eluding the pressure right. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 30-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The gun now on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Push him back. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Switch.
2nd and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11. He's fresh off that 3-touchdown performance last week that got him AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so you know that he was already on their radar. Now he's maybe even a bigger plane on their radar.
Bigger plane. I mean, he is the big dot on that screen that they're looking at and saying, how in the heck do we stop him? They're going to try a bunch of different things, different people covering him, but right now He's locked in and is in sync with his quarterback.
They'll run. This is Hunt. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down now, it's Hunt. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd down, it's Hughes. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That really sets him back. A loss of 6. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. Give him 6 there, but now it's 3rd.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang at Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And his kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
To throw again, Farley. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first down, Farley. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
It's now third down and 14.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Tight end right. 3 down.
Back to throw. Farley escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started.
We play to win. Let's go.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Hey, switch gears, switch. Check, Lucky. Where'd he go?
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Here's Johnson. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Ready, 60-yard. Hey, eat. All day, just hut. 25. Check 25. Slam. Check 99.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like? And he lost the football. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
You must be getting tired. Come to me, it's me.
2nd and 6. And it's complete to Martin. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Got it. Mike's 50. You can't block me. You can't block us.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And Martin's got it complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Well, they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Farley. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw on 2nd down. Farley flushed out right. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player on the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
Now Johnson. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And this one is right through. And that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Let's go.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2nd and 15. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
And the Dolphin first down.
You don't want to see me. You don't want me.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Going right side here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5 at their 48-yard line.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Second and 5. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's first and 10. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Back at the 41-yard line.
On second down now, it's Hunt. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Dolphins on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Now Brissett, the backup, his first throw. Flush to his right. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Brissett to throw for it on fourth. And this is going to be incomplete. To go for it with such little time remaining, and the Dolphins get the football in great field position.
Result of the play is a turnover on down.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively, kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you. And a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Switch.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Now from the 9, here's second and goal. They'll go with a keeper. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a third down.
Hey, give him credit. That's a good, solid game there on the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
Watch the slant.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. And his kick is indeed good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And his kick here is good. And that'll get this back down to a 20-point spread.